All right, so we're going live, Mr. Clark, and we're actually live right now. So
Okay.
let me do this first of all. It's been a long time since we actually. It's been since last year.
Oh, definitely, yes. Sometime last year. Yes, because we were going to do a Coolmore show, a Gold Cup show. Yeah, we had a lot of plans, but it never came to fruition. But we're here now, though.
Well, welcome back to the platform, man. Thanks for coming on. It's
Thank
always
you,
a
thank
pleasure to
you.
have you on.
Yes, yes. I'm a busy man, so time is limited.
Well, yeah, I completely understand that. But let's just wait and see if let's get a little bit of audience before we get going. It's always
Okay.
nice to have an audience. We talk to or talk with actually, because people are very interactive.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They may want to yell at me or something, I say something inappropriate. Right?
I think
How was Barbados?
Barbados was wonderful, man.
Okay.
Barbados had its moments, its ups and downs, um, but it was wonderful. I had a really awesome time there, and I would love to do it again.
Yeah,
You know,
I see
yeah,
you have a nice tan, man. You have a healthy tan.
it's wearing off.
Okay.
It's wearing off.
Like me out here in the cooler weather. I just
You
gotta
know,
flash my farmer's tan.
actually, when I came back from Barbados, um, it was really cool. And when I was down there, I was really enjoying it. But when I came back, the thing that I noticed was that what I noticed was that everybody up here looked so light, so
Right.
pale.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
know,
Oh yeah. We do
so
get light,
pale.
man. We get light due to the non-light. Due to the lack of light, I should say.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
but
always the that's
is
always
there?
the
But
first shocker.
your skin stays healthy.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. It
I
makes you. All right,
I
so I
don't
was
know
doing
if I
some
have.
business there behind the scenes as you were talking. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. I said I don't know if I ever mentioned to you. I went to Hawaii. I think for 3 weeks, a couple of years ago, and swimming, doing the tourist thing, and came back to the mainland. Then about 2 weeks later, I noticed my back was peeling.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh my god, you got sunburn, bro.
How'd you feel?
I did not feel it. I did not feel it. Raised
No,
in
I mean,
Barbados, but
I
you
mean, like, how'd
know,
you feel to get sunburn? Because was that
I
the
did
first
not.
time you get a sunburn?
Yeah, first time ever. Yeah, first time ever. I thought it was ridiculously funny because you're a black person, grew up in the Caribbean, and yeah, the cooler weather, and then you go, 3 weeks in Hawaii and get sunburned. Yeah, but it wasn't severe, It wasn't like itching or nothing like that. It was cool. It was a good experience
I get
for it
heat
to happen
rashes
to
and
me.
all kinds of stuff now.
Say it again.
I get heat rashes and all
Oh
kinds
my
of stuff
god,
now.
bro! You're
Yeah, I do.
snowbirds. Come on,
Yeah, on
bro.
my neck.
Wow.
Yeah.
We gotta take you back to Barbados for a couple months, man. Get that out of you again. Like boom, make it happen.
But after a while, you get acclimatized, and it's all right.
You do. Like right now, the mornings are very, very cold. It's probably 32 to 35, but then we have wonderful afternoons. 65, 70. So I like that weather. I don't like it when it gets too hot.
Hmm.
I'll take the cooler mornings and warmer afternoons.
Hmm.
That works for me.
So, what is new in your parts of the woods, man? What's happening?
Oh, what's new in my parks? It was well, just falls. I have two or three, two. I think I have two, two nice yearlings by Corsi,
Hmm.
and Vivaldi's in fall. I don't know if I mentioned that to you.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, Jockler She got covered, but she's not tested in full as yet. Basilica's in full, intricately got covered. So just breeding. Yeah, just breeding. Yeah, watching the babies grow. Currently looking for a horse for Barbados, but yeah, I'm already to like the 27th of the month as far as entries are concerned. So saw a couple of nice horses, watched a couple of nice horses run, then dropped the tag. Looked at a couple of horses in the sale. Yeah, but I'm looking for a horse to run in Barbados. I have a yearling that just went up to Stephen Gaskin. Um, a guy up there is going to prep him for the Canadian sale out west. And then I have Attaboy Cookie that's going to run this summer at Assiniboia Downs.
Oh, you own that one?
Yeah, I own it with Beth Koch, yeah.
I've seen the name.
Yeah, Attaboy Cookie, yeah. He's back with Steven.
Oh, okay.
So,
How's Stephen doing?
I spoke to Steven about 3-4 weeks ago because the horses got shipped around that time, and he said he was going to send me a video of him on a walker the next day. So I told him, send me a video when he starts to go fast. I don't want to see a horse in a walker. So anyway. So, but yeah, so when he starts to go fast, send me a video. I get plenty of videos. I'm not as excited as the yearlings, the foals, That's where my heart is right now.
And those are the ones in Barbados, right?
Yeah, my heart is right there with those babies, man.
Is it the first crop for you down there?
First crop of Corsies. They're looking lovely.
Oh, pretty cool, man.
I'll share some pictures with you.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because you say that, and with Corsi, and I met the guy who bred Corsi.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Yeah,
Starts with S. I can't remember his name right now. Ugh.
I'm pulling a blank right now too, but
yeah.
So many. I mean, I'm just coming back from Barbados. I mean, I'm got so much things in my head, so many different people, so he'll come back pretty soon.
Yeah, but I know the guy you're talking about. His I think you sent me a picture of his son with Corsi.
Yeah, but let's not quiz over that right now because that'll be that'll puzzle us for all night. But I'm pretty sure it'll come back as we start talking.
Sorry, I need to text here real quick. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. That's a Canadian thing. You too close to the Canadians now, man.
Well, we can take over your country. Remember I told you that, right? We're coming for you, bro. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Canada. We're happy to have you.
I'm not coming to stay. I'm coming to take it over.
Well, in that case, then it is a different story.
Oh boy. So how's I'll tell you now. Everybody sees the impact with the politics we have here. So I wired some money to Barbados recently, and the guy said, "Well, you're short by I think it was $1,000."
You were short by $1,000?
Yeah, when I wired it, right? So I was like, "Oh, that's weird." So I went back. The exchange rate is 192.
Oh shoot! Your dollar is falling.
Yes, bro. I was like, man, I'm on the other side of the stick right now.
Well,
because normally I can jib the guys for that two cents. I could say 2 to 1. But now
right.
It's a 1. It's not. 8 cents is a lot.
Yeah, how's that feel, man? To be finally.
6% is a lot, Derek. Come on, man.
Well,
I can't lose 6% of my money like that. Oh my God! But yeah, it was shocking because I thought I sent him enough, But then when I did the math between the 198 in my head, actually it was 2 to 1 in my head. So when I did the calculations, I plug in 198, and I said, well, that still doesn't make $1,000. But then when I went back and looked at the receipt, it was 192. I was like, oh my god, yeah. So hey, good for Barbados, man. Good to have that nice exchange rate. I mean, if you could shave those 6 points off a couple million, you'd be doing well. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Now's the time to buy some stuff in the U.S. But that was shocking. That was shocking. So,
Well, I'll say to you, our dollar is a lot worse. We take our dollar down there, and we don't really expect a whole lot. It's
right,
pretty much
Canadian.
just a little bit over.
Yeah, the Canadian dollar. Yeah. We don't get into that, but hey, soon you'll have the U.S. dollar, so you'll be upgrading.
I can't see that happening anytime soon, but
Me
um,
either, but it's good to poke fun at you about it.
I know. So what else? Vividly, she's in full.
She's a
Um,
full to Mohawk.
hmm
Jockler went to Eagles Peak, intricately Ashdan, and Bosico Duro went to Corsi. Those were the four mirrors that I covered. Yeah. But then we have a lovely wheeling by Mohawk out of Caribaros on the farm. That's a nice looking horse. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm still spending most nights 2-3 hours at night trying to research horses to send to Barbados. So that's my main focus right now. Finding a horse for Barbados and just waiting on the mirrors to, drop the foals out. That's about it.
are
But
you are you looking for just one horse? Or are you looking for a specific horse, or what are you actually looking for the Gold Cup, or what
yeah,
is it?
yes, for the Gold Cup or the Spa. I thought I found a horse that will win the Spa, but we didn't jump him and take him. But maybe if he comes back, we'll jump him and take him, and we'll just concentrate on the Spa for 2026. But two of my good buddies that they're looking, they want to find a Gold Cup horse. So we'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, we're looking. We're actively looking.
Nice,
I
nice.
mean, we still have Saratoga. The Gulf Stream winter meet came and went, and Saratoga's coming up, so we'll find something. Like
Hmm.
I said, we look at the 2-year-old sales, the April sales. Saw a couple pups there, and we were him and haw a little bit, and but we didn't get one. Long story short, but there's an April sale which I really don't care for, and then there's summer and Saratoga. So we'll find something. We'll find
Nice.
something.
Now you asked me earlier if how was the Gold Cup and so forth, and I saw Rockwell down there, and Rockwell rode vividly, and
Mm-hmm.
what was your feelings? I mean, you had your thoughts leading up to the Gold Cup, because she had one race after a long rest, and then there was Gold Cup time. I know you said you didn't really expect too much. I think that those were your words. So I guess after that race, that kind of sealed the deal of putting her into breeding.
Yeah, well, the plan was always to go to breeding, and we obviously the year before we tried to impregnate her, but that didn't happen, and she was just on the farm. So I figured let's come back, let's run Boxing Day, Coolmore in the Gold Cup, then we'll go to stud. So we had that 3 race plan, and normally when I plan, I don't sway. I'm like rigid. I don't move from my plan. So that was my plan: 3 races, go to stud. And unfortunately, we could not get the first race in. I think somebody's at my office door here, Derek. Give me a second.
You
But we
want me
can get the
to?
first race in. You can pause if you can.
You want me to put you out?
Sure.
All right, I'll put you out for a minute. All right, while we wait for Mister Businessman Darwin Clarke, I guess I'll fill the ear. Maybe what the hell can I talk about? Maybe Damien or maybe one of you guys can tell me something, or we can talk about something here. But I guess we can talk about Barbados. We can talk about Canada, talk about U.S. Talk about Kentucky Derby. You can talk about many things here. I know the Woodbine is coming up pretty soon, and I know there's a lot of people with a lot of expectations. Um, there's a few people that I'm watching. I met quite a few people in a short space of time, and it's kind of refreshed me a little bit because then it gives me a lot more juices, a lot more hope. Um, are you ready, Mr. Clark? Oh, okay, sir. All right, let's do this. Bring it back. Here we go.
I apologize for that. The mechanic wasn't sure if I was still in my office or not, so he wanted to lock the gate. So yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so we had a 3 race program for her, and unfortunately, the race on Boxing Day did not go. Not enough entrants, so we had to skip that. We came straight for the Coolmore, and she ran really well. And obviously, the next race was the Gold Cup because it's a month apart. And in my opinion, she ran well. And some people will blame the track and this and that. It was a really, really, really tough race. And, she didn't run for over 365 days, ran a credible race.
Hmm.
And, maybe she bumps, maybe she didn't like the going, maybe she wasn't good enough. But it was going to be her last race anyway. So I really don't have a postmortem on it. It really doesn't matter. Still a great mare that came there and ran for a while, and she will be an excellent mama. So that's the exciting part of her life in Barbados right now is being a broodmare.
Nice, nice,
I
nice.
don't know if I told you this like 2 years ago. She is the best mare that ever graced those shores.
I
I
think
think I
you
told you
did.
that 2 years ago.
Yeah, you did mention that the
Yeah,
first time that you had introduced a horse to me. You said that you had really high hopes for the horse.
yep. So
Uh,
we'll
you,
see
you
now. So
you were also saying that there was some offers, maybe to probably purchase the horse, but
yeah, so
what happened?
we well, a couple of things. Well, she wasn't obviously not in full. She was a 7-year-old, so there was a couple of people that had some hesitation about those things, and which it's warranted because 7-year-old well-bred mare not in full, still racing. So didn't come through, and that's fine. I mean, we got her as a broodmare for Barbados. But bear in mind, if her half sister wins the Arc this year, and someone wants to give ridiculous money, we'll open up our pocketbooks and take it. We're not stupid, so
That's
we'll
interesting
see.
because so people pay close attention to even like to vividly now she's in Barbados and the half sister is in France. I mean, uh, do people pay attention to those small details?
Of course, I mean they want the breed and stock, so she's a well-bred mare. So doesn't matter the geography.
Hmm. Yeah, did I lose you? I kind of lost you, Darwin. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
But
I don't know
anyway,
why. There we go. All
yeah,
right.
she's a tremendous mare. So we're happy to have her, and we'll breed some very very good horses in Barbados.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
And your
No
whole
love or money
operation.
lost. But like I said, if
What
the right
what did you say?
offer, she'd be on a plane heading the other way somewhere.
Did you say something about
So
money loss?
we're keeping our options open, but right now she's breeding and staying in Barbados. Yep. But, a lot of zeros can have her, Derek. So if you can get those zeros together, we have a horse for you.
I just want to check on something. Are you hearing me properly?
I think you're muted. Are you muted, Derek?
No, I'm not muted. But I'm just wondering, are you muted? So some weird happened just now. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I know that I kind of lost you for a minute, and I don't know if you can hear me or not.
For some reason, I can't hear you.
Okay, I think I'll know what to do. I'll bring you out and bring you back in. Um, it's probably the best thing. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear you. Check your check your I don't know if you can hear me. Check your headphones. You might have muted that there. The technology. Just wondering, can people actually hear me? Because that's what I want to know. Is it me or is it him? Because technology is something. You good now?
Yeah, I can get. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes.
probably Rocco. It's probably Rocco being jealous.
Oh, is he coming on?
Well, he was calling me, and I think that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Because after I ignored him, it seems that my volume was gone. So I'm not that high tech, to figure it out.
Oh, cool. So what else is happening? I hear you're having a birthday coming up.
Oh my God, who told you that, Derek?
Through the
These
grapevine.
these business guys take a joke. Well, yeah. Oh boy, yeah,
Big
yeah.
celebration.
Birthday. I would say medium.
Hmm. Okay, cool.
Because I'm such a loner. At one stage of my life, for my birthday, I would take out 10 to 15 people, and we go to this nice steakhouse and have steak and drink and have a good time and spend the weekend in Seattle. Yeah. And then when I turned 50, I invited maybe 80 people over to my house, which doesn't sound a lot for Barbados, but in North America, that's a lot. But in Barbados, that can happen on any given weekend, right?
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
so true.
we you know what I mean. It's like a house party in Barbados is 80. So well, anyway, we had a good time. Had a full roasted pig. Yeah, we had a good time.
Nice.
But since the 50th, nothing major, nothing large. So the celebration will probably be about 5 people. Yeah, lunch or dinner. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
funny.
have
No, it's funny.
have a
Well,
birthday, man.
I just want to comment here because thanks to Damien for commenting on. I was asking if people were able to hear us and so forth. So he, kind of chimed in and said his piece. He can hear me. Blah 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 blah. So I,
Yeah,
I appreciate that people clearing the ear so that we can
clear
understand
the
what's
air.
happening. So that's pretty cool.
But
But
yeah, so I was
go
gonna
ahead, my
say that
brother.
we were talking about claiming horses and getting horses for the Gold Cup, this, that, whatever. But you said earlier Woodbine is starting this weekend, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's another access and another area that we can pull a horse from, also. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I looked at the entries; they're pretty small, 5, 6 horse races, but it's an opening day. So I'm on top of that. You know,
Interesting.
that's why I'm always so tired, Derek.
I understand what you're saying, man. But when I was in Barbados, I learned a lot just just observing the horse people and how the business works. You just take a minute, just kind of watch like who's doing what and so forth. Um, Sometimes it could be a little bit dreary, but I think people who really got their eyes on the ball with horse racing and the purses and the money and all that, they kind of go a little bit over than the average person. So you know, good luck
Yeah,
in your search.
yeah, the enthusiasm has to be there. Like I wake up every morning and my first thought are the babies. You know, what can I do more to get them to where I need them to be? What is the plans for the next 3, 4 months? What's the plan after that? Yeah, that's all I think about while I'm getting ready for work. So it's like, Horses, horses. That's the excitement right now. And
Man, that is,
obviously, during the course of the day, I would kind of morph to the older horses, or
mhm.
trying to find a horse for the Gold Cup. Yeah. But like I said, if we don't get a horse for the Gold Cup, we might find one for the Spa, which is a good race. But we really want to win the Gold Cup, Derek. Oh my God, we had a taste of the Spa. Run third a couple of years ago. Yeah, we have to do it, and it's gonna be tough because the Smiths. I think they left a couple of their horses there, and I'm sure the guys from One Guyana Racing they may be back. I heard rumors that Mr. Ramsey will be back next year. Next year, so I mean that's already 5 or 6 good horses there already. So yeah, the enthusiasm is already back, man. It's just what April, so we're gonna have to find a nice horse. Have to.
You know, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about you guys and how much it means to like persons like yourself, who's been in the business and been around for a long time, right? And you've come through a lot of different stages with horse racing in Barbados, right? And I was like, man, horse racing. Like when I was down there, it's always good to be like an ambassador or speak the word and make things exciting and so forth. But there's a lot of people who fall out of grace with horse racing too, right? And the thing is that it's always nice, or it would be special when you can actually draw a lot of hype around the race. I think that makes it even more special rather than just a regular race. You draw some kind of enthusiasm.
Yeah, well, I side with the people that fall out of grace. I mean, it's a tough sport, and I don't want to get on a soapbox about the BTC, but the Turf Club does not make it easier for horse owners, trainers, whatever, to really enjoy the sport. I mean, there should be more open and inclusive, and I don't think they're doing a good job at that. The handicapper sucks. I saw him promote a horse that finished. I'm serious. I mean, look, all these guys that I call out, they can get my number, they can call, and we can have a good discussion why I think they suck.
People get
But
upset with you when I was there. I
I
hear
don't give
little
a shit. I
whispers.
don't care. I don't give a shit. Look,
They get upset with
Derek,
me too. So
if these people are mad at me, call me. Call me. My number's not that hard to obtain. Get my number. Say, look, explain yourself. Why are you telling me that I suck, or why this or why that? And I would explain it to them in layman terms. Because I'm not making this shit up. They suck. They should be
Hmm.
fired from their job. So I'm going to tell you how critical I am about the Barbados Turf Club. Last race day was a sticky, muddy day, okay? And I watched my horse racing on the internet, and I watched a guy pounding the holes by the winning pole. Probably for maybe 10 minutes. And he pounded back in 2 freaking holes. The race before was probably an 8-horse field, 4 legs per horse. Luckily, only 3-2-1, 3-2 on the ground. But he could have done such a good job of ramming a larger area. But he's staying right there by the winning pole. He's like, boop, boop, boop.
And you were
And I'm
watching
like,
that?
oh my God. Yeah, oh, yeah, because it was irritating. People are spending thousands of dollars for their horses to go around the circle. Your job is to ram those holes back and flatten it. And all you can do is just book, 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 book. But I don't blame the guy. I blame management for that. Because the track and paddock manager should be overseeing that. I mean, when I go spend X amount of thousand to buy a horse, I would love to know everybody is doing the best to keep my horse as sound as possible. But I don't see that. So when I don't see it, it irritates me. And first and foremost, I'm thinking about the animal that has to come out there and run on that shit. I'm like, oh my God. I would fire that guy. I don't know the guy, so I have nothing against the guy. But do your job. You're getting paid. I'm sure Rosette is paying him.
Hmm.
But the buck starts and stops with her. Maybe she has more important things to do, but I think the equine athletes are the most important piece to your puzzle. So your job is to keep those horses safe and sound. And nobody's blaming her for breaking down horses, but do your best to try to make the racing safe for the horses. But yeah, so that's why I get upset. And then the handicapper, I saw that horse Caspian C won a race, but maybe a half length. Okay, the horse that finished second, he got promoted 4 points. So in their handicapping, 4 pounds. The winner got promoted 1 point or 1 pound. So as a handicapper, that means the next time Caspian C meets the horse that finished second, he should beat him again. I mean, that's poor handicapping. You cannot move up a horse that got beat, or penalize, maybe the right word. Penalize a horse that got beat in a race more than the winner, the horse that beat him. Unless it was a big, even if there was a big disparity, you don't promote them. You probably move them closer. But there's no way that 3 pound swing will help the horse that finished second. It's stupid. And that's why I call them out. Because you don't need a brain to know that's stupid. You know, if I
Do,
can't beat you at the weights that you assign me right now, why give me more weight?
do you
That's
think
just
with
layman.
everything you're saying, you think that they will hear this
They don't give a shit. But I wish I was there to call them out every stinking day. Because it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing that you cannot have a handicapper that cannot be that logical. Or if I'm wrong, say, hey, idiot, here's why you're wrong. I'll give you an example. Vividly and Solar Kitten came to Barbados at the same time.
Mhm.
Some handicapper there rated both horses at 75. And when my trainer told me both horses were 75, I was sad because there's nowhere Solar Kitten could ever beat Vividly. And they're starting in Barbados at the same handicap mark. And I'm like, this person is stupid, is the right word. Ignorant, probably. But yeah, I don't want to get on my soapbox because I'll go on forever about the BTC. And I don't like doing it because it feels like it's counterproductive because nobody's on the other side listening.
I want to ask. Can I ask you? Because I don't want to cut you off,
You can
but I
ask me
want to ask
anything.
you a lot of questions, and I want to
Yeah,
ask
you
you
can ask me
questions
anything.
like about that. I mean, because I mean the people are relatively nice people. Um, I think that means at least some people are nice people. Not everybody can be nice, and that's fine. If you're not nice, that's fine. We can all still live together. If you're not nice, that's fine. But
Right.
um, I mean, people hear you criticize them and they criticize, the beloved Barbados Turf Club, and do you ever get conversations, or they just write you off as just are you a nobody or what? I'm just trying to
I'm a
get
no.
the mindset of how
I'm
that
a
is
nobody, and nobody gives a shit about me.
perceived.
So that's fine. I don't give a shit. I mean, if I'm a no, I don't care. I mean, look, they're not going to stop me from enjoying my life. That's point blank.
Mm.
So a lot of people say, "What do you say that they'll handicap your horses because they don't like you?" I don't care. I don't care. You know, those horses are gonna go around a circle. I'm gonna have some enjoyment, and whoever don't like me, as we say in Barbados, can kiss my butt. That's it. But I am speaking the truth about them. You know, you want me to stop? Explain it to me. You know, dear Darwin letter, that will work. Or get my number. They know who has my number. Get my number and say, hey, you like talking shit about me, but this is why I do this or I did this or whatever. Then I would come on your show and apologize and say, Derek, I was wrong. The handicap was a smart guy. But I know I will bet you every penny I have that I would never have to say that. Never. Because they're not smart.
Are you trying to get
And
their attention?
Not really. I just express myself. I can't go home and kick the dog, so I just call them out as I see it, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to get their attention. I tried. Let me rephrase. Yeah, I tried. I actually had my trainer go into the office to try to talk to the handicapper, and he said he can't talk to me. So I was like, okay, that's
Because
weird. You're talking to someone that I employ to tell me that you can't talk to me.
is it because he doesn't have WhatsApp, or what's the issue?
I was talking to my trainer, and my trainer
No,
was relaying what I was saying to him.
but I mean, like,
So he was
can you not put him on WhatsApp and talk to him? What's the
I
issue?
could put him on anything, but come on, Derek. You know, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they don't seem to want to hear anyone. I don't want to say want to learn or anything like that because I don't know what I have to teach them, but I don't think they want to hear a different side. You know, to see a different side of the coin. You know, I learned a
What?
long time ago.
Hmm.
If you think you're the only one up, right side up, you have it wrong. You know, because you're not.
Can
I
you
mean, I will love
explain?
somebody.
Can you explain what you just said?
If you're the only one that's right side up and everybody's upside down, 9 times out of 10 you're wrong. So just come over to the other side. See a different side of the argument. I will love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. If I can have a conversation with people that I don't agree with, you know, and this can roll into politics too, you know. Whatever it is, I like to see the other side. I like to see your way of thinking. I like to have an open question. Say, why do you think that way? You know, was it the way you're raised or your ideology or whatever it is? Just so I can understand you better and make myself better because, oh, there's another side to this, Darwin. It's not just your stupid little side. So, but that's the way I look at anything or anything that I pursue. I like to gather information, and obviously I would stay with a consensus, you know. But quick story: I was trying to help a guy in a particular area,
Mhm.
and he wasn't very open to what I was telling him or whatever. And then I just stopped. I just like, okay, I'm wasting my time, so stop. Don't do it anymore. And he's still stuck in the mud, and I've gone on with my life because obviously you can't fix stupid. You really can't. So I mean, I would say the pillars of the turf club haven't changed in all the years that I've known. I don't think I've seen 4 or 5 people get fired from the turf club. I mean, I've seen issues with the clerk of the scale, paddock management. I mean, and no one gets fired. And I'm like, well, shit, give me a job there. You know what I mean? I can't get fired. I mean, I come to work every day knowing that tomorrow may be my last because if I F up, I'm going to get fired. That's the way it is. But it doesn't seem to work that way in our sunny island of Barbados, you know. We can fuck up, have the track, however, have this, have that, whatever, and nobody gets fired. But yeah, I like people to tell me I'm wrong and prove me wrong because then I would learn something. And I'm not saying I know it all, but I have been around with horses for about 50 years, Derek. I've seen a lot, heard a lot, learned a lot. Still a lot more to learn. But that's a pretty long time. And I got my fingernails dirty from the get go. Started from the bottom. Yeah. So, but I'm still willing to learn. That's the difference between me and some of the people I try not to call out, but somehow I think you provoke me to get me in this mood.
I didn't really do much at all. All I just said was hi, good night. I haven't heard you in a long time. This is our first show for the year, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's me. See, I learned something about myself. It's me, not you. But I'm so narcissistic. I'm trying to.
I want to ask you something though. Going back to what you
Anything.
just said about the Barbados Turf Club and all that, because while I was there, every now and then, obviously the public and so forth. So you hear things, and people say, a lot of times, Darwin, maybe you're getting old and you're getting miserable in your old age because all you seem to want to talk about is Barbados Turf Club and what they're not doing and so forth. But here's the thing. Here's a question to you. Do you think that the public is a little bit I don't know. They don't act on anything. You think the people in Barbados just kind of take whatever is given to them? I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying, do you think that's the scenario here where people just do what they want and just the public just takes whatever is there or they don't care?
Well, yeah. Well, if you eat rice every day, you will think that's the staple, right? I'll give you part of my history. I I don't want to say when I was poor. When I was younger, I I would turn my nose up to high end food, snob it, like, oh, that's what people do, and this is that, and whatever, high end, whatever. Okay, and then I tried it. I have an open mind. I tried it, and you acquire a taste for it. You like better things. You like better housing, better clothing, better this, better that. But at one stage, I was at that level where I'll eat rice every day. Might be rice and peas, rice and chicken back, but rice every day. So until I don't even want to say exposure because that's limiting. Until you can open your mind and think there's something better, something different, something more you need to learn. And with the horses, my good friend Derek in New York, he taught me so much about back end problems, and that is something I never really thought about, you know, until the last couple of years here. And breeding, he said, hey, this guy does not make stallions. Good race horses, but his horses never pan out to be good stallions. And I went back, I did the research, and I'm like, oh my God, I never saw that. But it was there right in front of me. So I think for the people wanting to call me out, I think that may be the issue where, they're too close to the forest to see the trees, it's just way too close.
Hmm.
I need to answer my wife here for 1 minute, Derek.
Yeah, for sure. You want me just knock you out for a bit and then you jump right back in?
Yeah, yes.
All right, cool. No problem. All right, cool. Well, I guess Mr. Clark is warming up. He has a few things he wants to talk about, and you know me, I want to listen, and I want to hear exactly what's on his mind. I had a great time in Barbados, quite honestly. I didn't do a whole lot of running around because I actually wanted to do a lot more, but in my old age, I can't really do so much running around. But I had a great time hanging out with just interviewing Dean, Springer, Neil, Gil, those guys. It was real cool because one of the things that I realized was that listening to the public, seeing comments online and so forth um, about the commentary in Barbados, and people are always criticizing. Okay, Darwin's ready, but I just want to say this very quick. I'll bring you back in here, but I'll tell you this. I was there on a little ramp. I was like a little rant.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
I was
like,
listening.
so I was like, I hear the people criticizing Dean and Neil, but these guys have a really hard job. I mean, yes, some people say you've been doing it for a while, so it should be a lot easier, but they do have a pretty tough job because they're doing other things too at the same time. So I was privileged enough just to go behind the scenes and just to have a little bit um, a look in on how they conduct their business. And then on Gold Cup Day, you got like so many guests, people coming in their space, kind of like invading their space and so forth. People, rubbing shoulders and all of that. And then you're under pressure to call a good race and to have binoculars in your hands to be steering at the horses. Then you got obstacles in front of you blocking the horses, the a lot of things going going on at the same time. So that was pretty cool, interesting. Just kind of like watching how that was done, and it showed me a lot. All right, cool.
All right,
Floor is yours.
so yeah, I'm not gonna side with you on that one, Derek. So you ever heard adapt and overcome? You have to
Yeah.
do that. Everyone at Gold Cup did it. Everybody else is there. Everything, trainers, owners, everybody, the writers. It's Gold Cup Day. Adapt and overcome. Don't let that be your Achilles heel. Oh well, this I got that. I got that. Oh, I don't. I don't buy into that, Derek. I'll never buy into that.
But didn't you think they did a
Um,
good job?
did do a good job. They do a good job. You know, look, I'm on the commentators. I'm on the starter, the assistant starter, every single soul. I'm on my trainer too. You know, he's not out of the frying pan. He's right in there with everybody else because I want excellence. That's me. It's just me. I'm not gonna buy a piece of shit horse and send to Barbados. So I'm gonna do my due diligence not to do that. I can say, oh, I was in a rush. Oh shit, the Gold Cup was coming up. Oh yeah, you know, the wife called. Bullshit, Derek. Do your freaking job.
I
You know what
don't
I mean?
disagree with you on that one. On
Yeah.
just
So
doing it, you know.
when I first started sending horses to Barbados, same commentators would say, "Oh, you know, this old horse, this cheap horse, this, that." And when the horses start kicking ass, I never heard one come and say, "You know what? I owe that guy an apology."
Hmm.
So when these guys get good, I would say, "Hey, thumbs up." But
Is
you're
that
calling a fight. Sorry, go ahead.
no? Go ahead. I was just wondering if that's a
Yeah.
spliff in your hands. That's all.
Oh no no no!
Oh.
I don't chupalele malta, man. I leave that for my trainer. He's good at that. He smokes enough for me and him, so it's just a sticky note I was rolling.
Oh, okay. So I clear it up because somebody
No,
with a creative eye like mine might.
always like this. No, I was never a good marijuana guy. I never dabble in that, man. Never. And now, it's legal in this state. I could go in a marijuana shop like a 7-Eleven. But no, it never appealed to me. Never. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the US I get accused of it all the time because people tell me I'm always happy. I walk in the office in the morning and say, hey, blah, 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 and everybody knows I'm here. And they're like, man, why are you so happy? And I'm like, dude, I'm just a happy person. You know?
Are you happy or are you jolly? Is there a difference with happy and jolly?
I think so. Because you could be happy without being jolly. I don't know if you can be jolly without being happy. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
jolly.
quit school. Go
Jolly
ahead.
seems to always come when you're like, a little bit chubby-ish. So I'm just wondering, are you a little bit
No,
chubby?
you
He's
see,
sort of jolly.
you're marrying the word to the Santa vision of being jolly.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
skinny person could be jolly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Come on, Derek. You're labeling now. Come on.
I
So
want to
you're
ask
gonna
you something
take
here.
over Canada. Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to ask you something here because, um, you know, one thing I did find out after speaking to some people in Barbados, and when it comes to the broadcast for the horse racing, and they were telling me that when CBC broadcasts the horse racing, it's a little bit different, and they're telling me that they do enjoy it. So I'm just wondering if the YouTube is different from when there's actually live broadcast by CBC. So there might be more production there. I'm not entirely sure because I've never actually seen it because I'm here and I'm watching it on YouTube most of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm not watching
So,
CBC.
when I was a kid, and I don't want to sound like an old guy. When I was a kid, but I've seen commentators, part-time commentators, do a better job than the guys right now. I'm not saying the guys are doing a horrible job, but they can improve. They can raise that bar, just improve. Um, Yes, every time they complain, oh, this night race and the 9 furlong, we have the lights out there. And I got to remember the Smiths have 3 horses, and this one has a red cap and yellow cap. I'm like, dude, you're calling the same horses you call week to week. You're not like in the U.S. or a bigger horse population that the 200 horses you saw yesterday is going to be a different 200 the next couple of days. You're seeing the same horses. I can tell you all the riders in Barbados just by their stance. I can tell that's Rashid. I can tell that's Kadeem. I can tell you the riders. And I'm not a commentator. I'm a casual horse fan. So if I can tell it, and you're calling the races, I can tell some of the horses too.
Hmm.
So you don't have to solely depend on colors. You saw when Robert Geller went there, and I mean, people saw it as a stretch here. Professional versus, you want to call it amateur in Barbados? But he went to Barbados, he called the race, horses that I've never seen before, colors that I've never seen before. And yeah, you can say, okay, he calls a couple hundred races per year, right? Which is true. But still, elevate yourself. The riders that leave Barbados and go foreign, they ride a couple hundred horses a year. People up there running a couple hundred horses a week. So don't tell me that you can leave Barbados as a rider, go somewhere else, and be great, but as a commentator, you're going to stay at that low level. It's BS.
Well,
Horse ownership, training, any level, you have to improve your craft. If you want to improve, you can stay mediocre. I mean, I can just go tomorrow and claim a horse and say, okay, send that to Barbados. But I don't want to be mediocre. I really don't. I don't want to be a horse and shit, he got so horses. I want, when you see those colors, the blue and yellow colors, you're scared because you know something proper is coming. And you know, next year when the babies are on the track, I want the same, you know, gut wrenching feeling, like, oh my god, you know, Darwin Clarke has a horse in here, fun in the sun. Yeah, I want the same feeling. So I'm not gonna send a piece of crap horse there. That's just me. And I do this part time because I'm still at my real job. So when
right.
people give me the part time, or I don't do it that often, oh, get out of the way. Let somebody that wants to do it do it. You know what I mean? That will elevate themselves to be excellent in that department. That's all I'm
Let,
saying.
let's continue this conversation because I think is for me it's intriguing just to hear a little bit more about this part of our conversation, and that is you talk about commentary. Now you know I've met Dean. Obviously, we've become pretty cool. When I say cool, you know, obviously he's been cool, and Neil as well. Um, so we're not buddy buddy, but we're pretty cool. I've actually had some interesting conversations with Dean um, that that stretches and stretches, and it's really interesting hearing from his mind, right? But here's the thing: a very open, honest discussion here. Do you think that in Barbados, because we're talking about Barbados racing right now, that the people involved in racing is more elitist? So there's a crew of people who does certain things, and others won't be allowed to enter that space. Reason why I'm asking you this is because you know obviously Dean, he's a vet. He deals with animals and so forth, and Neil, he's a school teacher and so forth. That being said, it doesn't mean that they can't do 2 jobs and 3 jobs or whatever. But uh, are there other people that could actually do those jobs? And is there actually like openings where people can say, "Hey, look, here's my tape." You know how the rappers would send a tape to,
Mm-hmm.
here's my tape. This is what I do. And that could actually open up jobs or open up a space where someone who's very good may have a chance in to show their skills. I'm not saying that that's what they should do. I'm just saying, what are your thoughts on that?
Well,
We're
first of
having a
all,
very open
I
conversation.
don't hate these guys or whatever. I mean, I've known Dean Time he was 6 or 7, running around the track, whatever. And I don't dislike him. I think he's a pretty good commentator, but he should get better. What you're saying, I think it's it's not an open contest. Like, I don't think there's an ad somewhere in Barbados as a potential commentator, X amount of dollars per week.
Right.
I don't think that opportunity is there.
But do you think that's something that could be done?
It should be done. I mean,
I mean, the reason why I'm asking, I don't mean to cut you off, but because then it opens up the dialogue where you can say, well, because people in Barbados will have a job for many, many years, and
I
that
know
person could be very
lifers,
good at that job.
lifers. So, what's his name? I don't remember his name, but he commentates right now in Auckland Park. He was at Emerald Downs, and I had a horse there years ago, and he loved the horse, so we talk a lot.
Matt Dinniger.
Matt Dinnerman. Okay?
Dinniger.
Yeah, Matt Dinnerman. So Matt, before he became a commentator, he had to send in a tape with him calling 500 races. That was a prerequisite just to get interviewed to be a commentator at Emerald. Then he got the job, blah, blah, blah. He was okay at Emerald Downs. He wasn't a great caller. Then he went to, that track in LA. I don't remember the name. It's closed now, but he was there for 4 or 5 years, and he got so much better. Oh, and then obviously he got the job at Auckland. So I saw him rudimentary stage and his trajectory where he's at right now. And he is so good. But he does it, for a living. It's his main job. And I appreciate the guys in Barbados doing what they're doing. But they have to take the craft to another level. That's all I'm saying. Elevate. That's all. I'm not dogging them out. I don't dislike them. I just think there's no excuse for this is as good as it's gonna get. Oh, this is not my real job. This is just a side hustle. Well, then leave it for someone that wants a side hustle that will really, really be good at it. I know guys on the island that can handicap better than handicappers, but they will never get that opportunity. And I'm not saying it's an elitist thing anymore. It used to be, but it's still not welcoming. They're not looking for the best of the best. They're looking, oh, we know that guy. Yeah, let's make him this. Let's make him that. That's BS. Look for the brightest and the best. But it's a turf club. If I was running the place, it would be the brightest and the best. And people will actually have to do the job. But, you can't fire this person, can't fire that person. So it's going to be what it's going to be. It's not
I would
going to be.
I would love to go behind the scenes with just turf club, just to with members, just to see a normal operation. I poked at that a little bit, but quickly I realized once I'm in Barbados, and let me tell you this: once I'm in Barbados, I get this overcast over me, which brings back a lot of strange memories from when I was a little boy. But I don't let it faze me. It just feels like if it feels like if okay, let me be real and be very honest. That stuff doesn't faze me. I walk a lot of different paths before and watch through a lot of fire, so a lot of stuff doesn't really bother me. But I still get the feeling from when I was a little boy when you go around different types of people and immediately you feel like if you feel like if you can be just shut out, right? So that's just the feeling, but again, I mean, I that stuff doesn't bother me because it does a little bit thick skin when it comes to that.
It doesn't bother me. I feel where you're coming from, but I got over that.
Yeah.
Shit, I was 12 or 13 years old. I was done with that bullshit. Yeah, and it never bothered me. I remember one time. Oh, I don't want to bring up that conversation. I'll just hit two people. One of the people involved was knighted by the Queen, and he was talking to one of my black friends, And my black friend, from a famous family.
How'd you say stuff like that here, my black friend? Like that
Well, I'm
sounds
trying to say it
like
was
what
a
kind of
white
world you live in,
sir.
man?
It was a white sir, right? It was a white sir, right? A sir, something that was a white person, and my black friend was here. And my black friend and I were having a conversation.
You go ahead, man.
And this MF sir think he can interrupt my friend and I conversation. And he forces himself in between and turns his back to me to talk to my friend. And I say, "You motherfucker, can't you see I'm talking to my friend?" And he looks at me like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I was a small guy at the time.
Yeah.
And he just walked away and he gave us our time. But yeah, I don't buy into that. Like I said, I know where all the bodies are buried. So anyone that think they can push me around or try to jostle me, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to beg them for shit. So I can tell them where to get off really, really fast. I would say the people that are respected, I think most of them are dead and gone. I mean, there's still a few there. But look, this is a turf club. There's a guy that's a steward. I heard he got warned off, and now he's a steward. I mean, think of that. You warn a guy off from the track at a period of time for doing something against a turf club. It will have to be detrimental to be warned off. And now he's a steward. I heard a trainer came back in the weighing room. He's like kicked down a water bottle and break some shit and whatever. Nothing happens. And I'm thinking, if you let people like that, you let them off with a tap on the wrist, what are the grooms going to do? You know what I mean? What are the guys that you're supposed to be setting an example for? What are they going to do? They're going to burn the place down, in my opinion. But yeah, the structure is gone. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like, I would be on the phone talking to my trainer, and I hear the noise, the language, and I'm like, oh my God. And these are the little kids, you know what I mean? They're going to be somebody someday, hopefully. But I mean, that might be a whole different story. That might be island-wide, not just isolated to the track. But I'm saying you need structure, you need proper structure. There was, I got to say white again. I called him out for doing some shit, and he tells my trainer, "Oh, tell your boss keep my name out of his mouth." I said, "Give that fucking guy my number. Tell him to call me." He've never called, Derek. He's
Why not?
never, ever called. Why do you think? Because I'm going to blast him out the water with just facts. Because what I was saying was true. It's something I witnessed. The same with a guy, pounding into holes and he only pounded in a few. If he wants to call me, he can call me. Because I said, motherfucker, this guy that's over 50 would have done like 100 fucking feet in the 10 minutes you were there pounding. Boom, boom, boom. Do your job. That's all I'm asking you to do. Is your job. If you're getting paid.
You came through the ranks and you know how this thing works. Do you feel a little bit disappointed when you see stuff like that?
Of course. Because first of all, the person actually doing the manual labor, he is robbing the turf club. He's robbing the horsemen. He's robbing the equine athletes. Your job literally is to protect those horses. Go do your job that you're getting paid to do. Don't just tap 3 holes there by the winning pole and not move. If that's your job, we're going to need about 500 of those people to cover the entire track.
Right.
And that's not biased to anybody, but the track and paddock manager should be seeing that. Who is his boss should be seeing, okay, we have a problem here because we can only get 3 holes patched within a race there. Between races. Okay, we need 10 guys, 15 guys, whatever. And to me, that's just eye candy because if you're the only guy pounding, he's just doing right by the winning pole, What about at the half mile? What about the 2 furlong where it's really, really bad? And I know that because I was a jockey for so many years. You know, who's taking care of those spots? A guy out there doing the same 3 holes that you're doing? It's nonsense, but they might have bigger fish to fry, you know. I might be looking at the smaller stuff, you know. But
Do
anyway,
you think you're too honest? Do you think that
you can't be too honest. Look, I told a friend of mine this the other day. I said, look, I'll never lie to you because I trust you. And I said, for you to trust me, you should never lie to me. So it's not about being honest. I am forthright and I tell people what I want to do. And when it comes to the horses, it's always the horses first. I don't give a shit about anybody else. The horses first. Never hit my horse. Never this, never that. All these rules I have. Don't sling him up. Don't this, don't that. Because my job is to protect my horses. That's my number one job. They can't protect themselves. Nobody send them out to have a piece of shit owner like me, so I got to step up and take care of them. So if your track is not good enough for my horses, I have a problem.
right?
So, I mean, the commenting and all that stuff, whatever. I could put it on fucking mute to watch my horse.
Mm-hmm.
But the track conditions, paramount. Must be 100%. I mean, the Gold Cup. I'm not a weatherman, but fuck, I think anybody can Google the weather and see what weather Barbados is going to get for the next 7 days. And the Gold Cup in horrible track conditions. I mean, like I said, I Vivley ran, she was going to stud. But if I had a horse with a shot, oh my God, I'll be livid. I'll be livid. And I'm not even send Miss Pierce an email.
I think, like, okay, I guess I can put it this way because, I definitely don't have those kind of credits like what you have, but I definitely have eyes and ears, and I'm a pretty fast learner. I didn't grow up dealing with horses and any of that stuff, but, I'm a person who can look, I can observe, I can learn pretty quickly. And what I'm saying is, the track condition and what are you seeing? Because I just want to compare my what I'm seeing to what you're seeing.
Well, you want horses to run a good track, so you don't want it too fast. So if you've been doing this thing for more than 2 freaking days, you would know, well, I can water this place for 15 minutes. Per the sunshine we're supposed to get tomorrow, it should be a good track. The next day, okay, no watering because we're going to have light precipitation. We're not watering. I don't know. I don't know what the guy is doing. I don't know what the turf club is doing. But the problem is there's no accountability. Somebody should get fired if they fuck up.
Right.
I mean, that is point blank. I don't know how more simple to put it. If I don't do my job, I get fired. Simple as that.
Do you
It's
think
not
that
my boss hates me.
Do you think that there's actually employees there doing this job, or do you think these are volunteers?
Terry,
I want to be very, very open. I'm just serious.
So let me back up there. And my truthful, honest answer is I don't know. But I can almost swear to you that they get paid. Commentators, handicappers, track manager, the guy pounding, gate crew. And that's my point, right? I know all these people get paid. But there's certain jobs there that you can have volunteers to do. And if they were volunteering to do it, I would say, okay, you're putting in your time. God bless you. But if you're getting paid to do it, you should do it right. You should do it to your best, more than your best ability, if that's a thing. You should do it right. Be good at it. I mean, like, I don't prep when I come on your show because I don't get paid for it. But if I was getting paid for it, so when I wing it, I still get criticized. But if I was getting paid, I'll be sharp, man. I'll be like, yeah, have the teeth brush and the hair comb, I'm good to go. and put on a suit and tie, and oh yeah, so they get paid. They're not doing it for free. I mean, I don't think the stewards are a paid position. I think that's voluntary. I think, but commentator and yeah, all that they'll get paid. Yeah, I mean,
I
you're
guess
not going to retire on the salary, but shit, I have buddies that would do it for free. Save the turf club some coin,
I get
but
scared
they'll
when you
never
come on
reach
and talk
out.
like that. When you talk like that, I feel like I don't want to be a backlash, because people
For
would
you not
think
paying
that
me?
I'm bringing you on the platform for you to campaign against
No,
them. I mean, I'm
no.
just posting this
Okay.
platform is open to anyone, really.
So what was the upside of you bringing me on to campaign against them? What are you benefiting from that?
I,
You
I'm just
want to
saying.
show that people will be provoked, or people will listen to, people will say, "Oh, that guy is stupid." Some type of reaction. That's all.
Do you think the people in horse racing are, well, in Barbados, because we're speaking of Barbados, uh, or if you want to speak about elsewhere, that's fine too. But do you think there are a lot of hypocrites? Because people would say all the nice things when things are not really going that nice.
In Barbados, you'll find the hypocrisy. Yes. Outside of there, I don't think so, unless it's a smaller track somewhere. But most people are about their business, getting their horses to win races, keeping their horses sound. There's not this close knit clubby feeling like Barbados.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I don't give a shit. I call them out. One of my mentors, he has this weird thing about the handicapper this and so. One quick point before I go. 2-year-olds come out. Say there's 50 of them. We run 8 of them, and one wins a race, and that horse gets promoted. I don't know how you can do that because you're basically isolating him until you get 7 or 8 winners that he can run with. So you don't penalize him for being good. He loses maiden certificate. So when I was young, I think that was 7 pounds. So every time he meets these other horses that are lesser than him, he has to give them 7 pounds.
Right.
That's his penalty for being good.
Right.
And then when one beats him, then both of them are at the same level, so the others get 7 pounds. That's how you do it. You don't promote a horse for winning the race.
Hmm.
And for some reason in Barbados it happens. Never happened before, but it happens. Because you're telling me, 10 hours ago we're all in the same class. Just because I excel, it's like, okay, you're gone. You know, Penalize me for being good. So I have to give the dunks here guys, 7 pounds. Then at some point they'll come up to my level, they'll improve, or I would
True.
stay where I'm at. But anyway, that is wrong. You should not promote a Creole for winning a race. He loses maiden tag. That's it. He's no longer a maiden. So you give your buddy 7 pounds every time you meet them. But yeah, that is. But again, no one wants to hear that. They're like, "Oh, you win, you get promoted."
I know you said that's like at one point before you go or whatever, but I want to ask you on that point. Do you think that like dialogue like this, dialogue like what you're saying? I mean, like, to be honest, like, you're all part of the same community. You're a horse
Yeah.
owner, who's providing horses to Barbados. You've got friends, family, whatever in Barbados, part of the horse racing community. Why can't you guys with that kind of information have that dialogue on stuff like that? I mean, it seems pretty simple to me.
I'll let you answer your own question. Why don't you reach out to the turf club and say, "Hey, I saw Darwin Clarke is saying this and saying that. Can you get someone to shut him up?" Wouldn't that be a good show?
That'd
The
be a great show.
handicapper, track and paddock manager, clerk of the scale, someone. Even the CEO. You can have Rosette come on also.
Well, I met Rosette. She's a lovely person, but I don't think she likes
I
to
didn't
be.
say she was a bad person. Why you gotta defend her?
I want to clear the air because
I
I,
did, but hey, I did not say she was a bad person. And you down the street, I met Rosette, lovely person, lovely lady. Oh,
she.
I've
I
known
mean,
Rosette from the time she was like 13 years old. She's a lovely lady.
right.
I've known her husband since he was that tall. Lovely guy.
Same since he was the same height as he is right now.
Oh, yeah, well, he's a little taller.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we were very good friends. His father, to show you how small the world is, right? His father got me into horse ownership. Yeah. He leased me a horse, and on this lease, he was getting 25% of purse. And then he says, well, you can lease her with an option to buy. I said, okay, cool. And then when she won her first race, he says, BF, you can have the horse. I'll sign the papers over tomorrow. Yeah. Great man, Tommy Pierce. Not because he did me a solid. He's a great man. Yeah. So anyway, so when I talk my truth, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not necessarily calling out anyone. It's the behaviors or the lack thereof. That's all I'm doing. You know, my friends can tell me, hey, you're getting fat. Hey, I don't think that horse you claim is a good horse. I love them, Derek. You know why? Because they're honest.
Right.
They're honest, and they make me take a step back and look at my reality and say, did you mess up on that horse? And then when I'm right, they're like, oh, man, you're right. Okay. You know. So my trainer at the moment, when Jockler won her first race, I call him. He wasn't training Jockler at the time. Another guy was. And I said, what do you think about the horse? How she ran? He's like, man, she ran all right. I thought she would have went further. I said, bro, it was like a paid gallop, it was an easy race. Man, I'm not that impressed with her, You think I held that against him when I was looking for a trainer? He told me. Go ahead.
No, I said I like your impression of him because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very.
But he told me honestly how he felt. You cannot be offended with a guy that tells you how he feels, Derek, right?
Right.
How could you? But
Right.
people do. People are like, oh, shit, you'll never train for me if you think that. You'll never do that if you think that. I applaud him for being honest. I welcome honesty. And like I said, if you can get someone from the turf club to come on, I'll be happy to come back on.
I will. You know what? If someone's out there and someone in Barbados who's watching or whatever, or you can make it happen, please do. But I don't think I can make it happen. Here's my reason. I know I'm not part of that elite club. I'll be very
Well, you're
honest and
selling
open,
yourself short. You're selling yourself short, man.
dude.
You are.
But I'm
Hey, I'll
not.
make you an
But
honorary
I'm not.
member. I'll
But
make
I'm
you
not.
an honorary member.
No,
Mr.
no.
Derek Headley.
Listen to me. What I'm saying is, I do a service and I like doing what I do. But what I'm saying is, I know that I'm not part of that fraternity. I know
But
that.
isn't that the problem? Isn't that the problem then? If they're trying to expand their business, I mean, even if 100 people see your show, you might get one person to say, "Oh, the turf club. Oh, let me check that out." Right?
Well,
I mean, I go to lunch for people just to expand my business. There's no guarantee. I go to bid work and hopefully I get it. There's no guarantee.
well,
So why not try to?
the invitation is right there. It's been like this for a long time. Been saying it for forever. Anyone is welcome to come on this platform and we can talk. I'm just here to have a dialogue.
So
We're
look,
here to express ourselves. We're here to have a dialogue. It's like therapy. We're just here to talk.
one of my ex-associates seem to have a lot of those, Derek. But anyway, I was going to bring him on your show to clear the air.
You were gonna bring him on my show?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I figured, you know what? It may get too hot, too personal, and whatever.
Well, was there a problem with you and him, or me and him? What was the problem
Oh
with Jose?
no, it's me and him.
Oh,
Me
okay.
and him. Well, it's him really. I didn't do anything. He just tried to to rip me off. You know the guy I'm talking about.
Oh,
I
right.
was like, I'll bring him on the show and
Now I
just
know.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I started to put it together. No, I started to put it together.
But I have like two or three of them, bro. I mean, I'm a bad person. I've come to that realization. Darwin Clarke, you suck. Because it can't be the others, right? Got to be me, right?
Hmm.
Say it right. Come on, Derek.
I, I'm not going to follow you on this because this seemed like a trap.
No, but yeah, I got a couple things to hash out here before mid year, and yeah, but one of them things I'm gonna actually bury the hatchet because I don't want to deal with that person anymore, and he's been on your show before, so
But
I
you
would just
seem
like
to
to
want to
come.
talk about it, so why not just clear the air and get it out there? You seem to want to. I don't know.
No, I mean I've dealt with it. I put it to bed, but it's just their I don't want to say the race in public. Maybe it's closure for me. I don't believe in closure though, Derek. Huh. It
Hmm.
sucks when you're married to a psychologist, you know.
I also
Hmm.
think when you're just trying to be a nice person, um, you tend to stop right there, stop really short of saying exactly what you want to say. And
Yeah, I wouldn't call out his name and stuff like that for John Public, but yeah.
well, I'm getting to that stage with people. I'll be honest with you. I am.
You know what? I'm rubbing off on you, bro. That's a
No,
problem.
well, look,
That is
man, it's not that.
this.
I think, it's just when you go through a lot of things, it comes a point where you just say, look, you know what, it is what it I
They
don't care.
say they say if you lie down with dogs, you can get fleas, Derek. So be careful.
Well, yes. Um,
Anyway, um, hopefully I'll get a horse here within the next month or two. Get some buzz, but the guys in Barbados, I think they got 3 or 4 horses from the sale, so that will be some excitement. I would like to say speedy recovery to my good friend Kent Lane. I hear he broke his leg trying to stop a car. I think they make bricks for that, but
try to stop a
he's
car.
trying to. Yeah, that's what I heard. And listen, listen. So I'm gonna go off the horse racing now. My friend called me,
No, you
right?
can't. I'm not laughing at you. I just think this is funny.
What am I trying to stop a car with his leg? But anyway, next time you use a big rock or something, we'll give him a class on that. So I called Kent, and Kent, in a bad mood, or he called me maybe, I don't remember. I said, "What's going on?" He says he's in the hospital because the hospital doesn't have screws for his leg, so they can't put his leg back together. I told Kent, I said, find out what type of effing screws you need. I'm gonna get the fucking screws for you.
Can you just go to Carter's?
No, wherever hospital. I do a lot of work for a company called Cardinal Health. They supply hospitals or whatever. It's like an Amazon for hospitals. Anyway, but luckily, me telling him that, someone actually stepped up and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the screws and blah 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 and get them too." But that's BS. A guy in the bed for 2 weeks because you don't have screws to put in his leg. I
Where were
mean,
the screws?
not in Barbados.
So what happens to all them people who get broken bones?
They sit there for 2, 3 fucking weeks, Derek. I mean, come on. It's like you don't understand. So it's not just a turf club, right?
You're
Like I
gonna get
said, Barb.
attacked from the health people now, trying to
So
make them
they're
look
gonna
bad.
attack me because they don't have screws to fix my friend's leg. They're gonna attack me. Bring
Well,
it on.
you tell not the secret.
Well, it's not a secret.
It
So
was.
why
I
should
didn't
it
know
be a
that.
secret? Why should it be a secret if you don't have screws to fix a patient leg?
For years they
If I
said it
get,
was the best. It was the best hospital in the Caribbean. For years I heard that story.
oh my God, boy,
The most the most intelligent people in the Caribbean in Barbados. I hear that story too.
I don't know, Derek, but true story. So anyway, so I told him, I said, well, maybe your leg is starting to knit back again. So when you go back to get the screws, then you have to re-break it to reset it. And he's like, I hope not. Oh, okay, well, good luck with that because they're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
But could you imagine that? I mean, why not tell the patient, if you can acquire the screws, we can set your leg when you get here. Not stay here, fucking die, get gangrene because, oops, we don't have screws, you know. So don't break your leg in Barbados, Derek.
I, well, I hope not. I mean, accidents do happen, and no one can predict those kind of situations. But I do want to. I need to see you put the glasses on yet. But I do want to. I do want to address this little statement here from your buddy.
Yes.
I want to try to decipher it here a little bit. I want you to look at it, right?
All
Uh,
right.
because this is a dialogue
All
and
right.
a
Let me see. What do you got
conversation.
for me?
So, God damn, you put the glasses on. Are you
No,
just trying to
I
see
got
it,
to read, Derek.
or you
Shit, I'm
actually
getting
have to
old.
see? Okay,
Well,
so
you said, well, you
so
can read
there.
it to me. I mean, I don't think you'll send me
If I take
astray.
my
Read it
glasses
for
off,
me.
I can read, but it's not so clear. So it's like living in analog versus living in HD. This is what happened when I first got my glasses. I went home. I tell everybody. I tell my friends, look, I've been living in analog for a long time.
Right. No,
HD it
boom.
is,
Yeah.
glasses all the way. But I
Right.
want to say this to you because it says Derek says, Derek, you should try and reach out to the BTC, Barbados Turf Club. Start from the middle and work your way at both ends. Offer invitations to your platform. Okay, Derek been asking people that surrounding that um, entity.
Which Derek is this?
This is
You're
Lynch.
talking. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about yourself in
So
the third
so
person. Sorry.
he's sending a statement to me here. So what I'm saying is, who do you actually reach out to when you went for a corporation or for an
I'll start
organization
at the
like
top
that?
and work myself down. You know what? Muhammad, in my opinion, I might get in trouble for this, but I don't care. The best employee at the turf club. Reach out to Muhammad, and then you can work your way up or down from there.
Okay, you did. Okay, I agree. I will definitely do that. I will because we're friends on Facebook, and I'll reach out to him. But I want to say this because the people do see stuff like this, and sometimes people get angry and think that I'm bringing you on the platform to get angry at different parts, right?
Different
But
people.
I'm not actually doing that. I'm
No,
just
you're
having a
not. So
dialogue.
let me clear the air. Yeah, we don't have a format. We don't have anything. We just come on to talk about horses, and sometimes I stray. So you have to keep me on the straight and narrow. Put up some guardrails for me, Derek. You know, come on.
Man,
You know, I can
this is a
wander in the bushes
dialogue.
for a while.
We're all intelligent enough to know what our conversations are.
Yeah, but people will think that. No, I don't want people to think that. It's a spontaneous show. We just come on, talk about horses, talk about politics, talk about life, talk about. I think so. I mean, next time I'll come with a script so I will stay on it. You know,
no, no, no.
I'm almost
Definitely.
like Trump right now. You
Well,
have to
no.
give me a
Please
teleprompter, Derek.
don't bring a script here because I'm definitely not reading no script. I'm just going. I'm reading the room. I'm trying to figure out what's going through people's heads, and I'm trying
Oh,
to get more information, and we're trying to have a conversation.
so
That's all it is.
I complain for the love of the horses. Like I said, the handicap, not the handicappers, but the commentators. They're not really my wheelhouse. I can mute my TV, so I solve that problem. But the handicappers, the track conditions, yeah. Even the person framing the races, you know. I would have loved to have a race right after the Gold Cup for the top class horses. But I think now is the first race we're having. And then the
I,
sprint race was like a 115 and lower, some crap like that. So you're excluding the best horses. People want to see the best horses run. But on your show years ago, I said, well, you know, I have some of the best horses now, so I just have to breed some so I can squeeze them at both ends like a vice grip. So speaking about the middle, we'll see what happens to the middle.
well, yes, definitely. I'll take that advice from Mr. Lynch. Very influential guy from New York. I know it sounds New York. It sounds really important, so I'm gonna
Oh
put
my
it out
God.
there. Really important piece of this horse world. Very good guy to talk to as well. So,
Yeah,
all right.
I would see you later, Derek. Let's try not to take 6 months before I come on the show. I guess I get riled up. I have a
Yeah, you
lot of
should
anger. I need to exercise these demons, But
come back real.
we should do like a because the Barbados Turf Club doesn't do it. So let's do a race show one of these days. I can come on, pick some bad horses, see how I do. You can criticize me after the race, and we can do
I would
something
love
like
that.
that. I
But
think that would be great.
we're from which track and what are you talking about?
Any track, man. I mean, Barbados is our island. Let's support Barbados. Let's go to Barbados, and we'll watch the races, have our conversation. I can bitch about the track. It'll be a good show.
But that's hard though. When I was there, I asked about like I think racing form.
Well, I'm not
I don't
saying
think.
on their program, on their platform, but I've said before, I watch it on TV. I got dead air for 20 fucking minutes.
Hmm.
Give me something to entertain me.
Right.
You got all these punters. You have the handicappers, and they got like 7 or 8 of them. I mean, you can bring one of those on to let the dumb part of the audience figure out how he comes up with these picks. Why he likes horse number 4, and not like my good friend Lyndon Yard says, because that was last year and this is this year. I mean, that is not logical. Or class is class, form is temporary. Tell me why, in layman's terms, this horse should beat the other horse. Not, yeah. I think he's a good commentator, though.
But you think that his actual facts on the racing, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No, I mean, I'm dumb, so you have to dumb it down for me. Don't tell me, because that's last week and now this is this week. That's why you like the horse. Tell me, you know, up in weight, down in weight, lower class, higher class, better jockey, better track conditions. You know,
There's some people
no,
who would say that when they see your horse show up in the Gold Cup, they say, well, that horse is not going to win.
I didn't think
I've
she was.
seen those kind of comments.
I did not think she was going to win either. I mean,
Mm.
so we agree on something. Shit, we could be buddies then.
I
It
know
was a
you're
tough
going to go.
race. It was a very
I know
tough
you're
race,
going.
Derek.
I know you're going, but I want to ask something. Do you watch a lot of social media? Do you follow what's happening in the U.S. with social media and the celebrities and all that stuff, or you don't follow any of that stuff?
You talking about deportation? What are you talking about?
Well, there's social media. You know, on you watch Club Shay Shay?
I do not, man. I
Do you know who
work.
I'm talking about?
No, I don't even know who's Club Shay.
Okay, well, he was a big footballer, Shannon Sharp, right?
Oh yeah, I know who Shannon Sharp is. Played for Denver Broncos, number
There you go.
84. Come on,
There you
bro.
go. I figure you would know him because you're a big football guy and you follow
Yeah,
these
oh
kind of
shit. I
stuff.
know Shannon, man. Shit.
And he's doing really good as a podcaster. And
Okay.
you know, lately, I mean, he's really doing really good, doing an awesome job. But here's the thing. The thing is that now that he's doing so good, he's about to sign a $50 million deal. I think with ESPN or
No,
somebody.
didn't know that.
But guess what?
What?
Here's the thing. The thing is that Damien is saying shot. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, there's a female who's launching some accusations, has him in court to take X amount of millions of dollars from him because for sexual assault
Harassment.
and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I'm wondering to you as a black man to a black man, do you think we have a sex problem? Because it seems to be all sex related stuff
No,
coming
hey,
up.
hey, the other races do too.
But I
The
mean, like,
problem, what
this
I
is all
don't
I'm
understand
seeing.
is what I don't understand is these celebrities, rich people, whatever. Go pay somebody for what you want, bro. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Every female doesn't want you. I don't know why they have to go on these. I don't know. That's a whole different thing. And look, my mom is dead. My sister's dead. So all the females out there I'll be protecting is ones I don't know, right? The women needs a freaking break, man. Take your hands off them. Stop harassing them. Allow them to walk, eat, sleep, drink like they're a guy. Let them enjoy their life. You want to go out and have whatever? Go pay somebody. What's wrong with that? Instead of
Well,
harassing the females, I don't buy into him, and F Shannon Sharp for it.
well, the thing is,
If it's true,
she claims that they were in a relationship. I mean, and he's 50 something, she's like 20 something.
so what? I mean, there's nothing wrong if it was a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't
Man,
care. I mean, if the relationship is different, I thought maybe it was sexual harassment or something.
yeah,
But if
but
the
it's not.
relationship is a relationship, but when you start to get big money, shit like this happens. So keep your nose clean.
Yeah, I'm hoping I make some of that money too, but I don't. I don't think they won't ever be a sexual accusation against me. I'll tell you that right now.
Or maybe that's
Uh,
why you wouldn't make the money. You don't have that drive.
it ain't gonna happen.
You gotta go and do some shit first, and then like, okay, I need this money now.
Never gonna happen.
Oh boy, but yeah, I know Shannon Sharp. Yeah, football player. He said one time he got on the phone. They were beating the team so bad, and then they used to have the phones on the sideline. When he picked the phone up, he said, "Put me through to the president." He said, "Send help because we're killing whatever team he was playing." But that was like 1998, 90, yeah, somewhere around there. That was at least 25 years ago. But he was a
Yeah,
beast, though.
yeah, he was
Number
pretty cool,
84.
pretty good, pretty good.
Coming across the middle of the field. And he's a good shite talk. He can talk, man. Yeah. But yeah, I used to be big into sports before I got back into the horses. So Sports Illustrated, ESPN every morning. Yeah.
Is the horses
So
taking toll on you?
no, no,
Okay,
I like it. I'm tired, but from other things. Not
all right.
harassing women though. That's not my gig.
I got you. Make that clear. Yes, sir. All right.
Yep.
Well, look,
So
look. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for clearing the air. Thanks for having a very open conversation. Um, I will definitely take your advice and reach out to the middle people.
yeah,
And Mohammed. Um,
and I'll call you differently so we can see how we can set up that race thing. I think it'll be fun.
yeah. I'll even reach out to another Mohammed. We call him Mohammed, and reach out to the middle person between the two Mohammeds. And
Yeah, if he doesn't get back to you, I'll call him up because I think we're cool. I don't know about after tonight. I put him in the hot water now, but yeah, I think we're good.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. You have a
All right.
wonderful night. Welcome back to the North America, the
Thanks,
50
man. Thank you.
something state.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bro. We'll
Let's
talk.
do this again sometime soon,
Yes,
man.
sir. All right.
All right. All right, cool. All right. Well, that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm just gonna go off the ear with my tail between my legs. Next time, till next time, let's do this again. All right. Thanks for watching. Tune in. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about the show. Tell your friends about the platform, about the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I don't say that enough. My daughter, she tells me you don't say that enough. But please do subscribe. I appreciate you. If you subscribe, hit the like button, whatever. Please add some more content. And I do. Yes, I now I remember. I do want to say to the people that I met in Barbados. Thank you and appreciate you for embracing me the way how you did. There's a lot of people who were genuinely nice, and I really appreciate that. Thanks to all the people who I interviewed and people who I interacted with. You were really, really cool. Barbados is always home, but it's always a nice place. I really do miss Barbados because there's a warmness in Barbados that people don't even imagine. It doesn't exist elsewhere because just walking down the street or whatever, it's just the friendliness towards each other. You can't Um, you can't get that elsewhere, and I really do appreciate that. Thanks to my friend Carson Branker from Branker's Barbershop, Fitz Village, for helping me out down there. It's really cool having a conversation with those guys in the barbershop. There's a lot of stuff that happened, but we edited. I edited some stuff, and it was really cool. I really do appreciate him and all the other people that's surrounding that whole camp. Redman. And there's a lot more people too. I know I'm stumbling a little bit. I don't do this enough, but please do subscribe to the channel. Please share. Please like, and you'll see a lot more um, stories on this platform, horse racing and outside horse racing, because the platform is there for other things too as well. But horse racing definitely is a love, and definitely will be there. All right, so until next live, we'll do this again another time. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.